What's up, everybody? Nathan with Rocket Donkey Garage and Outdoors. On today's video, gonna do kind of a little mismatch of things. First, I got some tires to put on the Bronco. Gonna put some radiator hoses on, fill up with coolant, put some gas in, and we're gonna go test drive it. And be the first time I've driven it since probably about 3 years now. No, not quite that long, because I've had it for 3 years. It's been a while since I've got to drive it for a myriad of issues, some of which I recorded, such as the distributor and some stuff like that. So anyway, we're going to start with getting tires put on. So I just want to give a pretty big shout out to a good buddy of mine. Actually, a good buddy of mine's friend, or dad, I'm sorry, gave these tires to me to put on the Bronco. They go on the stock, or not on the stock rims. They're 17s. They're going on the rims that were on the Bronco originally. I actually don't mind the broke down lawnmower, but I've actually got a factory set of Alcoas that are going to go on it. But I got these for free. So they'll get me by to where I can kind of drive it around a little bit until I can get the 15s that I have picked out, bought. So anyway, we're gonna get the tires put on. I currently have it sitting on blocks, a little bit sketchy, but it's all right. So we're gonna get the tires put on, and then probably we'll go change the radiator hoses and fill the coolant up. Then I will I'll bolt my seats, or at least the driver's seat in, get about 5 gallons of gas, and we'll go drive up to the gas station, put a little more fuel in it, and drive around and see what goes on, see what happens. So anyways, let me get tires set up and spread out, and we will we'll go from there. Alrighty, we're going to start with the back. That is the back done, so I'll get the jack and get the blocks out from underneath it and lower the back down. Okay, get y'all set down. Alrighty, that's the back tires put on. Let's move to the front and get those put on, and we'll be good to go. Alrighty, let's see about getting this front tire on. And then hopefully we won't have to jack it up any more than I already have. 5 Ugga Duggas. Tractor spec, don't you know? Okay. Driver's side done, that just leaves the passenger side. Let's lower it down and we'll go over to the passenger side. Alrighty, last but not least, passenger side. Let's see if I'm going to have to jack this side up, which I think I'm going to have to. It looks low because this is the side that had the tire that was split, and so I just lifted it up enough to get it off the ground and get it off. Yep. Alrighty. Put the old jack foot on it. Just lifting. And that's why you always stay out of the way of these bumper jacks. You'll notice every time I've used it, I try and stay off, back away from it. Stuff like that happens. They are, if you know what you're doing with them, they're pretty safe, and as long as you respect them. Don't ever get too comfortable with them, because that's whenever they're going to hurt you. Okay, we're going to try that right there, because I've been around these things a lot. Needs a little bit more. I've been around them a lot, so I respect them, but they do definitely make me nervous. I'm way off the other so we can as much as I can. Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better. At least got the tire on it. I'm gonna get a couple of the lugs put on it, and then I'm gonna lower it and get the tension off of it. Just because it is kind of precarious at the moment, and I don't like it. Okay, get this side lowered, and we ought to be good to go. It's also one of the other things about these bumper jacks is you really need to make sure you keep them greased up good so that they work properly. But there we go. Good to see her back up on some tires. And I forgot to knock these blocks out, but luckily that tire holds it up just enough that I can do that. Or I can just kick it loose. So, man, that is good. That is good to see. Yeah, so I'm gonna go get some gas, put it in it. I'm gonna get her started up. Get my seat put in here just temporarily. Get her started up, and at least maybe back her up away from the building, the kind of old dilapidated garage just a little bit, and change out the radiator hoses. And then we'll go on a little test ride to see how she does. So I will get my gas jug gathered up, and I will talk to y'all whenever I head to the gas station. Alrighty, let's go get some gas. Make sure the old tailgate's closed. It is. Got my gas jug. Remember, kids, hydration is very important. Sweet tea. Also, if anybody has any suggestions on how to keep my knob on my gear shift and my pickup to stay, I'm all ears, because it has gotten worse. Used to, I could just beat on it real hard and it would stay, and now it's just gotten worse. So yeah, if anybody has any suggestions, let me know. I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready for the fall. I'm ready for cool weather. We had a few cooler days here lately, but past 2 or 3 have been back up in the 90s and close to the hundreds, which I don't like. But nobody asked me, so I kind of live in the wrong part of the world and don't like the heat. But yeah, you know, good stuff. Yeah, I'm super excited about getting the Bronco back up and going. Been way too long since I've gotten to drive it. I got some locking hubs I need to put in it. I don't know, I might possibly do that this video, probably not though. I've got sound deadening material for the inside. I'm just waiting to do that until I get new seals for my driver's side door so I can put my window in it that my wife got me for Christmas 2 years ago now, I believe it was. And then I'm going to get the seals for the tailgate so I can put my other tailgate in it. Just stuff that I have procrastinated on for a long time and just have not gotten done. But hopefully sometime very soon I will get that done. Get those ordered, then I can get my sound deadening material put in, and be a good time. Hopefully I get it done just in time for the winter and I can start driving it in the winter time again and let the old Power Stroke rest, because she's been a little overworked here lately, and it's I think it's time for her to get a break. So anyways, I'm gonna get pulled into the gas station, get some fuel, and go from there. Alrighty, gasoline required. I'm gonna make one more little pit stop and go get some Seafoam or some B12 Chem Tool to pour in the gas tank, just to kind of help clean everything out, because it's been sitting there long enough that I don't want to. I figure it probably needs it, so we're gonna run and grab a little something to clean the fuel system out, and head back to the house, go put some gas in, and be good to go as far as getting it started up and getting it moved anyways. So the area I live in does not have auto parts stores. We have like 2 dollar stores, both of which have a pretty good little variety of oil and carb cleaners and stuff like that. So not as good as having an auto parts store, but hey, it is what it is. I'll run in here, get some B12 or some Seafoam. We'll get. Alrighty, Chem Tool acquired. Not sponsored, by the way. Everybody has their own opinions on this stuff. I'm kind of a believer in it. I've kind of witnessed it help firsthand on stuff, you know, super dirty carburetors, poured it in a full tank of gas on a generator and let it run about 20 minutes, and it went from vroom to running and idling perfect. So if you want to think it's snake oil, you can think of snake oil, whatever, but like I said, I've experienced it start. Been sitting a while. The battery might be down, which I've had the cables disconnected just so there wouldn't be no draw. But I don't know. We'll find out. Battery might be dead. Might have to jump it. We'll see. I definitely know it's probably gonna crank over a few times because I know last time I started it, it took a little bit to crank, and I think partially because I just put a new fuel pump in it, and two old gas, like a couple of year old gas. So I think a combination of those two things is why it wouldn't run, or why I wouldn't want to start. Because whenever it would finally catch and start, it running all right, but you can tell it just wasn't right, quite like it should have been. So I think getting some fresh gas and some of this chem tool in there will help it out. I imagine might have the injectors might be a little sticky, stuff like that. But we'll see. Once I get this fresh fuel poured in and this chem tool, who knows? She may just pop right off. Anyways, this has been a long time coming. I've been super anxious to get back to driving it. The buddy of mine that gave me those tires just bought a, I don't remember what it was, 68 International Scout, I believe. And he sent me a video of him driving it. It just got me to itching to drive the Bronco real bad, so I'm really excited about this, finally getting the starter up and drive. So after a pretty long time of not getting to drive it. So I've still got a few things in the floor fixed. I hadn't quite fixed my fuel hatch yet, and then in the transmission tunnel there's a spot where there's a gash in it about, I don't know, probably yay long. I gotta pull that out and beat it back down with a hammer and weld it up, but probably one of my next videos I will do that. So anyways, we're back. I'll go get the fuel poured in. I'll have to do that off camera because I don't think I can do it one-handed, and I will pick back up when we get ready to start her up. So I'll see y'all here in a minute. Alrighty, gas is put in, B12 chem tools put in, battery's hooked up. So moment of truth is, the battery's still gonna have juice. About to find out. Key in. Well, so far so good. Set y'all up on a tripod and we'll give her a try. What do y'all say? Okay, moment of truth in 3, 2, 1. Oh. And she lives. Shoot ya. She really don't sound too bad considering. I've been sitting a while. I expected a little bit of lifter tap or something, but she really sounds pretty dadgum good. Alrighty, I'm gonna check a few things out. I'm gonna move my I'm gonna move the diesel, move my power stroke, check my power steering fluid, and then we'll see about backing up, see what we can do. So I'll see y'all here in a minute. Alrighty guys, super excited. I've got really excited and forgot to film, but she's moved. Not much. I stopped it right there because I've been needing to change out my radiator hoses. Yes, stuff is leaking, don't worry. it was mostly water because the lower hose had been leaking over time, so most of the or actually all of the antifreeze had leaked out. That's why I'm changing the hoses out, because I don't know exactly what on the hoses was leaking. I just know that bottom hose was leaking, so I'm changing them out, putting new hoses, and I've got a couple of gallons of antifreeze. But I'm super excited. She moved pretty good on her own. She wasn't real happy getting out of the little divots in the ground where the tires had been sitting, but she moved. So I'm gonna get my water hose over here. I'm gonna flush a little water through the block, flush some water through the radiator, get the new hoses put on, get the new antifreeze put in, and we'll go from there. So I'm gonna get the hose stretched over here, and then I'll pick the recording back up whenever I get the hose stretched back over here and get everything started flushing out. So I will see y'all, or talk to y'all here in a minute. Alrighty guys, got the radiator and the block flushing right now, so I'm gonna let that flush for just a minute. Pretty, I imagine lots of these have them, but if not, that is pretty handy little deal to have. This goes in one of your heater hoses. You tie a washing machine hose to it, tie your water hose, and just let it flush. Don't tell the wife, but this is one of the hoses off of her washing machine. I didn't have a spare one sitting around, so I went inside and I liberated it for just this occasion. So don't tell the wife. But while that's doing its thing, I'm going to come over here and show y'all my my new project I kind of gave y'all a little teaser of in one of my shorts. A little bit better lighting to see it this time. Super excited about this. So basically what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to turn it into a overland trailer, essentially, or a camp rig trailer, whatever you want to call it. Overland is just kind of the easiest thing to, call it. Super excited. I'm going to redo the tongue on it because the frame's not cut in the same spot, and so the tongue, this part of the tongue itself is straight, but this is all whumper jawed. And then I'm gonna I want to have a toolbox up here, so I'm gonna recut those welds on either side, straighten it back out, then recut it again, and come down about 2 foot from the bed, cut it, bend it, put some channel iron in there, some C-channel, weld it back up, weld a new tongue in it with either a ball or maybe one of those kind of fancy articulating off-road hitches. Gonna do a little bit of the body work on it. This will kind of be my learning, where I can learn to do some body work. This side, I don't know if I can pull those out. I may just have to cut that out and weld a new section in. We'll see. And then the bed rail I'll have to beat back up, but I'm gonna be putting this camper shell on it. Probably gonna put plexiglass in the back where it's missing it, and maybe a piece of plexiglass there in the front. I'm gonna mount it up in here. I'm gonna throw a tailgate on, new lights, wire the lights up where they work, like they would if it was still on a pickup. And I'm gonna build me a drawer system here in the bed where I can pull out, and I'll have all my kitchen stuff, either on this side or this side of it. Have my Coleman stove, have like all my spices, anything and everything that I need for cooking. I'm gonna have a little pull-out sink on it. I'm gonna have it plumbed where I can run water. And then I'm going to take and put gas tanks back in it and filler necks, or at least one fuel tank I'm going to use for auxiliary fuel. Going to have it plumbed up where I can run it off of a pump, a little transfer pump where I can transfer it from here to the Bronco. And then the other one I'm going to have set up for water. I'm going to have that plumbed up, or with a pump as well, separate pump obviously, but to where I can feed my kitchen stuff off the back. I may have like a little shower on it, stuff like that. Maybe a spot to, like if I'm going fishing, have a little spot where I can clean fish when I get to camp, stuff like that. And eventually I'm going to change the axles out to have 5 lug axles, so that way it'll match a Bronco instead of this 8 lug 1025 sterling. I may just find me a cheap Ford 5 or a cheap Ford 8.8 or maybe a 9-inch. 8.8 would be good enough for what I'm going to do with this. Or I may just get a regular old trailer axle. Say hi, Leroy. He's very photogenic. Hi, Leroy. Hello, Leroy. Leroy Jethro Gibbs is Mr. Border Collie's name. But anyways, in case you couldn't tell, big fan of NCIS. Off topic. But anyway, so yeah, it's got a few things. Got a few little holes in the bed, you know, right there is one that needs fixed, you know. So just some little stuff here and there. But I'm super excited. Been something I've wanted to do for a really long time. And I am finally going to get the opportunity to do it. I picked this trailer up cheap. I think I gave, or actually I don't think, I know, I gave 200 bucks for it. It's one of the cheapest ones I have seen. I remember several years ago when you could get them for 50 bucks, you know, less than 100 bucks. But this is the cheapest one, so I kind of jumped on the deal. Wonderful Facebook Marketplace find. But yeah, super excited. So anyways, enough of that tangent. I think she's flushed long enough. I will get y'all set up on a tripod. I'm going to get the water off, and we're going to see about getting these new hoses put on. Find me something dry to lay on so I'm not sitting there in water and getting soaking wet. Like I said, we'll get these new hoses put on, and we will go from there. So we'll get y'all set up on a tripod, and I will be back. Okay. Got me a tarp down to lay on so I don't get just sopping muddy. We're going to start with the lower hose. Get my trusty impact. And might possibly need my extension. Get this lower hose put on. Swap everything over just real quick. Pull stickers off. Well, I don't know if it's really necessary to pull them off, but I'm going to anyways. Okay, this seems to be the same hose. I really hope that it is. Seems like it may be just a hair shorter, but that'll be all right. I bet. Okay. Bottom clamp is done. So we better do the top clamp from the top. So. Get y'all up here. Y'all probably can't see what I'm. Y'all won't be able to see, I don't think. I don't think I'll be able to record and show y'all what I'm doing all at the same time, so I'll just set y'all up best I can. We'll go from there if I can find a good spot to put y'all. Alrighty, had some minor difficulties, but I don't know what happened. My camera my phone decided it wanted to quit recording. I'm not entirely sure why, but whatever. So got the upper hose put on, got the lower hose tightened up, so we are ready to dump a little coolant in the radiator. So let's dump some in. Go from there. Alrighty guys, technical difficulties again. Phone quit recording again, but this time I know why it got too hot. Last time it didn't get too hot, but this time it got too hot. But got both gallons of coolant poured in. I just went and got 2 more gallons because it wasn't quite enough. So I got 2 more gallons. So I'm gonna get y'all set back up. And we'll pour the last of these 2 gallons or however much it takes. We'll pour these in and we'll go from there. So I'm going to pause, get y'all set back up, and see y'all in a minute. Okay, got y'all set up. Gonna go get her started back up and finish topping off the coolant. Alrighty, that was about 3 1/4 gallons. Gonna let it run a little bit, pour the rest of this gallon in the reservoir, and go from there. Don't really have a good spot to set y'all up, so I'll just pause for the moment, and we'll catch back up here in just a little bit. Stop. Okay, let's try this again. This will not be the first official drive or the second. The first one I got a little excited and forgot to film. Second one I took the wife and kids and had my wife film, but I guess I forgot to hit the record button when I handed her my phone. So I'm getting to take y'all on the third official drive. I tried to do one right before this, but it was kind of running weird. Went to running as good as it was to kind of spitting and sputtering. So I threw a new fuel filter on it that I had. We're going to try that. If that doesn't do it, it could possibly be the coil. The ignition coil could be old. Right, it is old. But it could be needing replaced. Or it could be the throttle position sensor, because it seemed like it would, well, it was idling pretty good and then it was surging pretty badly. So kind of like it was acting like it was trying to lose spark. Or at the time I thought maybe it was it wasn't getting good fuel pressure. So we're going to see if this does it. If the fuel filter doesn't fix it, then probably was losing spark, so I'm probably going to need to get a coil. So let me get the camera flipped around and we'll try again. Okay, reverse, give her a little gas. So far so good. So far she's sounding a little better. First, and let's see. Oh yeah. So far she is sounding a lot better than it was before. It's not spitting and sputtering. That fuel filter seems to have helped. I've got a hiss. I'm not exactly sure what it's from, because I noticed it kind of quits whenever I let up the throttle a little bit. So I don't know if it's just because I don't have the air breather on right now, so I'm hearing it drawing in air through the throttle. But it does it even if I let off the throttle, and then it does it whenever or it quits whenever I push the brakes. So it could be something, maybe the brake boosters went bad from it sitting, but yeah, she's driving a lot better than it was before. Make another little circle to see what it does. And there it goes. We're gonna limp back to the house. Yep. Yep, not 100% sure what is causing that, but I'll get it figured out. I really think that it could be losing spark because it kind of smells rich. Pardon the washboard road making it very loud. And she's trying to die. Let's see. That's what she does. So let's kill. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure what that's all about, because it seems to be pretty intermittent. So, but we'll figure it out back here at the house. Y'all got to see her drive. Got to hear her run. So yeah, I mean that's progress. It's better than it was, better than it just sitting there. So now if I can just figure out what the deal is with that, be in good shape. So I think that's gonna do it for today. Today's Saturday, tomorrow's Sunday. I may do a little more stuff tomorrow, as far as cleaning out some of the trash and junk out of the cab and stuff like that. So anyways, I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Alrighty, next day, I think I'm going to work on the hatch above my fuel pump today, and see if I can get that put in. And because I have a lot of exhaust that comes in the cab from right there, just because of the way the exhaust is ran on this thing currently. So, and it needs to be done anyways. So I think I'm going to work on that, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to see about getting y'all set up back there, get my grinder out and everything, and we'll go from there. So get y'all set up back there, and I will see y'all there. Alrighty. Got y'all set up. So I'm gonna kind of show y'all what we're doing. So I didn't do this, somebody else did. I've got this piece right here that I cut out of an old scrap bed somewhere. I don't remember where now, been a long time since I've done it. But so I'm gonna take and cut right there, the grinder, and then cut these back down just a little bit more, however far they need to go. And then I'm gonna see if I can kind of maybe pop this back up somehow, or I'm not 100% sure how I'm gonna do that yet, but I'm gonna kind of pull this flat back, make sure that there's not really anything I'm gonna hit, and there's not. Push that back down, so I'll be good as long as I don't go too deep. I won't get into the gas tank or nothing. So yeah, here goes nothing. Okay, I'm gonna go grab a marker where I can kind of mark either side, and so I can kind of see where it's gonna end up being. So I will pause and I'll be right back. Alrighty, by the power of video magic, I'm back. Got my piece of metal trimmed up a little bit how I want it. I got it marked where I want it to go. So all that leaves is for me to drill some holes. So how I'm going to end up attaching this is I'm going to use these riv nuts, because I figure there's already a hole here. There's an access for my fuel pump and everything. I might as well leave it. It's there, so I'm just going to leave it, use it. You know, I'm not going to weld it up or nothing. So yeah, so I'm going to drill some holes, and we'll put some of these riv nuts in, and I think it's gonna be a pretty good deal. It'll give me access in the future for my fuel pump if I ever have to have it, or what I say, whenever I have to replace it. So alrighty, I gouged the fuel tank in a couple of spots, but that is all right, because I'm planning on replacing this fuel tank at some point in time in the future anyways. So I have actually never used these before, but this is kind of what was recommended to me, so it's what I'm using. Alrighty. Got the rib nuts installed. I ended up not recording it because it was just a very slow, extremely boring process. Was having a hard time with my rib nut gun deal, whatever you want to call it, that I got from Harbor Freight. I don't know if I was just using it wrong or what the deal was, but I got them put in. So I'm going to go dig through some bolts that I've got and see if I've got any that are the right size. And if I do, we will get the hatch installed, and at least temporarily till I can get something to seal around the edge of it and everything. So I'm going to go dig through the bolts I've got and see, like I said, see if I got any that'll fit it. And if I do, then I will be back and we'll get the hatch installed. Alrighty. Found the bolts for the hatch. Haven't got it put on yet, but I noticed something whenever I kind of started putting everything together. One of my fuel lines was a little bit wet. And so I went, turned the key, let it prime, well, nothing. So I went ahead and started up the engine just to try and see. And I discovered this. See that little feller. Little fella right there. Little pinhole in my fuel line. That would definitely account for the fact, or why whenever I run or whenever I start the engine, if I haven't just been running it, why it takes a minute for it to start up, acts like it's not having fuel. Probably because it's losing prime right there. And that, wondering if maybe that's part of my weird running issue, if it's not getting all the fuel pressure that it needs. So I guess I'm going to see about getting me a new fuel line, and we'll see what happens then. But yeah, so I'm gonna put the hatch on. Show you all a little bit before I left my tripod, I think, in the house whenever I went in to look for my bolts that I had got for this. So here's a little bit of a before. So let me pause and I will show y'all the after. Okay guys, been a couple of weeks. I know I left off on doing a before and after on the fuel hatch, but I kind of changed my mind on that before I did anything, because I got to messing with the fuel leak that I found. So I'm going to show y'all what I got to fix it. All this came from O'Reilly's. It's Dorman products. I'm going to flip the camera around and show y'all. And so it's this little quick connect deal. Comes in a pack of 2. And then this section of hose and quick connect. It comes with the 5/16 hose and 3/8 female quick connect fitting, and then it comes with a 3/8 hose with a 5/16 quick connect fitting. Plus it comes with a couple of barbed fittings that you push in nylon, but I really did not want to jack with that, because whenever I was trying to fix, because I tried to fix the fuel leak, and as I was trying to heat the nylon up, I could never seem to get it right, and it either get too hot and go to burning, or I couldn't get it hot enough to push it on. And so instead of jacking with the new fittings, I just bought those little quick connect deals. So we're going to see about getting this put back together, and then once I get that put back together, we'll start it up, verifying the leaks, and then I'll show y'all the hatch installed. It looks pretty good, if I do say so myself. It needs a little cleaning up, paint and all that, but as far as it goes, it looks pretty good, I think. So anyways, let me get y'all set up, and we'll see about getting this fuel leak fixed, and we will go from there. Okay, so I got a good clean end cut on the nylon, so we will push this on. if I can get a good grip on it. Okay, so the good news is I can get y'all down there and get everything to focus. No leaks. So that is a huge plus. So again, for anybody that's runs into the same issue that I did, it's this that I bought from O'Reilly's. There's part number right there. But yeah, so there's part number. I can get it to focus. Well, y'all can see it fairly well. One of the curses of recording with a phone is can't get anything to focus correctly, but oh well. And then there's part number for this. Like I said, it comes with, I guess that's must be for the filter side. I'm not 100% sure. Or maybe the return side. But like I said, it does come with the barred fittings if you don't want to use the push together. I've heard a lot of good about the push together, so I'm gonna try them out. But yeah, so that's got me back in business. No longer have a fuel leak. And we're gonna put the hatch on. And this little project will be done. So I can't remember what size socket the bolts took. So let me go figure out that and get my screw gun. And we'll put the hatch on, and we'll either, maybe this video will be done, or I may put my new ignition coil on real quick. And it's getting too dark to go test drive. I won't be able to show y'all anything worthwhile, so we'll do a test drive on it tomorrow. So but I will show y'all the hatch this evening. So let me pause, go find the correct size socket, and we'll go from there. Okay, got the correct size socket, got my screw gun, and we're gonna put the hatch back on for the time being. And y'all can hear the difference it makes when I put that thing on there. I'm sure, I hope you can over the camera, but it makes a world of difference whenever I put it on there. But one of the best things I've done since I've had the Bronco was fix this little issue. So yeah, I got to get some bigger washers for my bolts, for my little, so my lock nut, or my lock washers, I'm sorry, don't fall all the way through. And they don't fall, they just fall through to my rib nuts. Anyways, sorry, another interruption. My little girl had to come over here and talk to me again. In interest of safety, I'm not, I don't feel comfortable showing her face or even really her voice if I can avoid it on the internet, just because there's a bunch of weirdos. So, you know, so yeah, just because it's safer to not show anything, or anything related to your kids. So anyways, but as I was saying, this is one of the best things I've done since I've had the Bronco as far as repair work, just because it has made it so much better. Just being back here, I can tell that there's a lot less carbon monoxide getting into it. There's a lot less noise, And eventually I am going to seal it up, probably with some silicone or something. I'm not 100% sure yet. Or I may just get some of that foam weather stripping and just lay down on it where I can just suck it down real tight and it'll have a nice tight seal. I hadn't decided to do that. So yeah, that's the hatch. Looks pretty good. You can tell that there's some spots where it's kind of uneven. You know, it's not cut just real straight, but it's going to be covered up for most of its life, so it'll never be seen unless I'm having to open it up to get to the fuel pump, and as long as I'm not having to see it, it's not going to bother me too bad. So that is really, really good to finally have done. Big peace of mind, and that is just one thing closer to me having it ready to put in the sound deadening and the new flooring material, whether I go with vinyl or carpet. I think I'm going to go with vinyl since I kind of want this to be my off-road rig, and I think vinyl will be better because it'll be easier for me to keep clean, kind of take care of, you know, stuff like that. So, but yeah, that is good to finally have that done and have that fuel leak fixed. So I'm gonna go kill it. We'll put my new ignition coil on real quick, and we'll call it evening. So I will meet you on the engine bay. Okay, welcome to the engine bay. I've seen lots of this engine bay, so you know. But so we're going to get the old ignition coil out. If I can get a good on it in a good spot. I should have found it a long time ago before I started, but I'm gonna find my extension because this is ridiculous. I'm only able to go like 1 or 2 clicks at a time, so I'm gonna find my extension and then we'll go from there. Okay, much better. Should be able to get in here and get a better bite on everything. Okay, there's the last bolt, screw actually, I guess. Get the old coil off of here. And there we have it. And also may have discovered some of my weird kind of running issues. When I went to pull the connector off of here, my wires broke. Got to looking, and wires down in there are, y'all can kind of see from here, are kind of stripped. They're kind of bald. So that may be a big part of the weird running issue that I was dealing with. So I'm going to see if I can get this connector or what exactly it is I need to do, and I guess I'll have to cut back that loom just a little bit and fix the wires. So I guess until then I'm just going to wait to put the coil back in. Also, this lug is a little bit corroded. So, like, it's actually a lot corroded. So, I think it was getting to be about time for this coil to be replaced. I kind of suspect this was probably the original coil anyways. So, yeah. So, anyways, I will, I'm going to call it a night here. Actually, probably... I may call the video here, and then in the next video, we'll put the coil back on, and I will see about fixing this, see what I need to do to fix it. So, anyways, alrighty. I lied. I was gonna do the repair on the part for my coil in another video. I decided, what the heck, I'll do it in this video. So, yeah. I got the heat gun set up, got it warming up. I got the new part, picked it up today, AutoZone. I don't currently have the box out here with me, but it's like 20 bucks. I could get it cheaper online, but I just decided I didn't want to wait. I just wanted to go ahead and pick it up. So yeah, I'm going to use the same little connectors that I use when I put the fuel pump in, the little heat shrink with the solder in them. I like these, pretty good. So let me get y'all set up on the tripod, and we'll get this fixed, and we'll start her up. I'm probably not going to drive it this evening, but I will get it started up. We'll see how she runs, and yeah, so good stuff. Let's go. Okay, so y'all know the drill with these heat shrink connectors, so I won't go through explaining the whole thing again. I'm going to trim these wires back just a little bit, back into some good insulation, and go from there. The wire going to the not condenser, I always forget what it's called, but keeps the interference from the radio, from the ignition system going to the radio. It keeps it all situated. I'm gonna have to cut some of this wire out. I'm not gonna do that this evening. It's not necessary to it, but I'm just gonna replace, because I don't think I can get this connector, so I'm just gonna pull the blade out of it and cut the wire back, put a new blade in it, and splice a little bit of wire in there. So just for, as I said, it's not necessary for it to run. That just keeps the interference down in the radio, so that way you're not hearing lots of interference from the ignition system. So just for today, I'm going to just replace the connector that goes to the ignition coil, and go from there. And so one thing on this one that comes from AutoZone that y'all will notice if you buy, if y'all have to buy one, whatever, it has 3 wires. The original on this Bronco only had the 2. applications may have the 3. And as far as I know, on most of the models of these Broncos only have the 2 or maybe just the 4.9s. I'm not real sure. You only need one of the green wires. This is more kind of a universal, so they're not making multiple different setups. This is just kind of more of universal. It works for multiple different vehicles, engine setups, configurations, etc. Like I said, you only need one of the green wires. And so for the time being, I'm actually just going to slide a piece of this heat shrink over the end of the wire I'm not using, and I'm just going to heat shrink it closed, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit so y'all can see it. I think I'll call it good right there. I'll before I go to disturbing anything, I will just I'll let those cool. I don't have anything to dump on them right now to let them cool naturally, so I'll just let them cool off by themselves here, and then here in a few minutes I will I'll come back, we'll throw the coil on, and we'll start her up and see what she does. So I'll see y'all here in just a few minutes. Alrighty. I think wires have cooled down enough. So we'll get the coil put back on. It's got a little bit on the dark side on me. So I probably will not be able to do just a ton more tonight, but that is all right. I seem to have lost one of the screws that holds the coil in, so I'm going to go find my flashlight and find this screw. I will be right back. Okay, found the screw. Let's get this hussy put back in there, and we will go from there. Okay. Buddy, upside down once again. Like, you know, sometimes you gotta be quiet and while you're turning the screws. Okay. got the screws put in, connector soldered up. I will put that back in some lume, and actually we'll probably add a little extra lume to this. I'm not just super worried about it at the moment though. This is all just for getting it together and testing it. So let's get her plugged in. Get the distributor plugged back in. And let's see what she does. Let's see if she starts up any better, or notice any changes in the idle or anything like that. Oh, I got to go get my keys. I'll take you on the long, treacherous trip with me to get the keys. I would turn it around to put it on my face, but I don't know that y'all be able to see me. Kind of got it all done right in the nick of time, so. Okay. See what it does. Well, she still starts up a little hard, but getting better, I think. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I guess that's successful, at least. New coil couldn't have helped nothing, I don't guess. So yeah, so this is going to be the true ending. Well, actually no, I take that back. This is not going to be the true ending to this video. We're going to give her a little test drive tomorrow after I get off work. That'll be the true ending to this video. So I will see y'all tomorrow. Alrighty, it's next day. I was going to drive it, but I decided to check something before I drive it, which is the throttle body gasket. So I'm going to pull the throttle body off real quick. Maybe look it over, clean it up a little bit with some brake cleaner. I already pulled all this stuff loose, connectors, all that. That's all pretty self-explanatory, so I just didn't feel like I needed to show that. So we'll pull the throttle body off real quick. We'll check the gasket, see how that's looking, and we're going to go from there. And I don't have a new gasket for it, but I've got a kind of old school method to basically just kind of build myself a temporary gasket. So let's get the throttle body off and get y'all set up, and we'll kind of go from there. Kind of hard to say for 100%, but definitely needs cleaned up. See, it kind of has a little trouble going back on its own. Okay, I'm gonna grab some brake cleaner, spray that down a little bit. clean it up a little bit. Maybe spray some on the inside. Spray the throttle body down. Scrape some of the rest of that old gasket off, and then I'll set back up and show y'all what I'm going to do to build me a new gasket. So I will see y'all in a minute. Alrighty, got the new temporary gasket on. We're going to slide the cleaned up throttle body on, and tighten her down. Now I don't have my torque wrenches with me, so I'm not going to be able to do torque specs and all that jazz. I'm just going to kind of do the best that I can. Just kind of do what I think is going to be tight enough, and we'll go from there. Okay. Put that back on. Plug that back in. Throttle position sensor plugged back in. Okay. Let's see if that see if I did it some good or if I just did it some harm. Well, so far so good. I'm gonna pause right here and we'll let it see if it'll warm up and the idle will come down any on its own, and then we'll go from there. Okay, it came down on its own. Still looks a little higher than I think it ought to be, but that's all right. I do definitely think it sounds like it's running better. But I'm fairly happy with that. It's not too bad. So I'm probably gonna go drive up to the fueling station here in just a little bit and get some fuel, and or see if I can make it up there anyway, see if that's helped that running issue that I was chasing. So I've got some other things I gotta go do at the moment, so I will I'm gonna go take care of that, and then whenever I get done, we'll pick back up and we'll go see if we can make it up to the gas station, get some gas in it, and go from there. So I'll see y'all here in just a little bit. Alrighty guys, got the video edited, realized I lost some footage. And so I kind of think I figured out what was going on with the running issue that I ran into. Um, I I went and I bought a fuel pressure gauge from Harbor Freight, a testing gauge, and put it on and tried to start her up, and pressure would climb and she would start up and run for just a little bit, and then as soon as the pressure started dropping, it would, and then it would start dying, and then then the pressure was dropping, fuel pressure. And that's what some of the surge was the fuel pressure would be low, so it'd have just enough fuel to kind of keep it running, but it would surge up and down. So I kind of got to checking some stuff out and figured out that the sock on the fuel pump got really stopped up. And so I cleaned it. I pulled the fuel pump out, obviously. I cleaned it. And primed it back up, started it up, ran pretty good for a minute, and then it just started doing the same thing. So I ended up lifting the fuel pump up just enough where I could see down in the tank, and it would start out pumping strong, but then as it was sitting there running, you could tell the flow was getting weaker from the pump itself, because I guess it's got kind of a built-in, or it's probably from the return. But it went from like where it was pumping a lot of fuel and a lot of return fuel to where it was like pumping none at all. And so I checked the ohms on the pump. The ohms were incorrect. It was resistance. I'm sorry, not ohms. The resistance was incorrect. It was out of spec. And so what I think happened was the sock on the fuel pump got stopped up with trash from the fuel tank, and it ended up causing the pump to kind of burn itself up, and it could have been a bad pump from the parts store as well. I'm not going to say it wasn't a bad pump, because I did just get a cheap remanufactured pump instead of a new one. But either way, I think it's related to I think it's a mixture of two things. I think the fuel tank having the junk in it stopped the sock up on the pump, and with it not being the best quality pump, I think it kind of burned itself up. So I got a new pump for it. I have not put it in yet. I am waiting on actually a fuel tank, or I'm waiting on getting a fuel tank, I should say, because I'm not going to put my new pump in the fuel tank and just have it do the same thing. I've been wanting to replace the fuel tank anyways, so I'm going to replace the fuel tank, and we'll kind of go from there. But I think that's probably what the issue was a combination of the two things that I already kind of talked about and said. So, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to give y'all an update on what I had found on that, especially since I lost a bunch of my footage. So anyways, I'm kind of in the process of recording my next video. Super excited. Gonna be a pretty big change coming to the Bronco in my next video. Next video I'll probably also do the fuel pump, or the fuel tank, I'm sorry. And yeah, we'll go from there. So anyways, if y'all like what y'all have seen, if you would just like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.